these chalk outlines. Oh man, I can't lie, I feel really emotional after hearing that last part. What's up everybody, welcome back to the Strawhat Show, and today we are reacting to Chalk Outlines, a live performance, Ren featuring Chinchilla.
Chinchilla, yes. This one has been requested heavily in our comments, and yeah, we just want to get to it, the live performance with another artist. I don't think we saw him do the retake that was live with other artists, but this is highlighting another artist who will be doing, singing or doing a verse in the song. So this is our first time seeing Ren collaborate with an artist, so I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, it is the first collaboration. I haven't seen him share.
This is the first collaboration that we're seeing.
All right, cool. Let's check it out. This is Chalk Outlines, Ren featuring Chinchilla. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, it's clear that it's live. He likes gritty looking places, I notice. Places that you look like you get kidnapped by Jigsaw.
You know, it's live, but I'm pretty sure that it's taken into some sort of audio editing program and mixed later.
Some sounds also included in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Post. Ooh. Sounded familiar.
Right?
I'm still here in this bed that I crawled in. I hope that I'm someone else in the morning.
I hear that.
So take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. Walk around in the floating chalk outline. So it goes, let it be. In the gallows, balanced on my toes so I can breathe.
Sorry, I'll pause that.
But
wow. All right. He said, you know, I crawl back into this bed, hope I'll be somebody else tomorrow. Obviously, somebody was not happy with themselves. Wash one down. Maybe they're gonna take some type of drug or pill just to make themselves feel better.
Or get drunk.
Or get drunk. You know, or somebody who's depressed, obviously. And then he said they'll be floating chalk outlines. Chalk outlines usually being the end result of a murder scene. It's the outline of chalk of a body on the ground.
Someone dying. Maybe he's predicting a suicide of some sort, I don't know.
And then this one bar / poetic reference I really like. He said floating, he's like walking on the gallows, just trying to hold my head above to breathe. See, the gallows is where they take you to hang you. And he's like, it's just a metaphor for I'm barely making it. I'm barely scraping by. I got this noose around my neck and I can barely breathe. I'm on my tippy toes, he says. I'm on my tippy toes at the gallows. Because that's where you're at. You're on the last brink and you're barely keeping yourself afloat in life right now. This person is depressed.
I can breathe, but little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long,
trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Maybe like all the negative things we're doing has such an effect on us that we're not even recognizable anymore. We're not even the person we were before, you know, or the way I'm feeling, so much so I don't even feel like the person I was before. You know, again, referencing the chalk outlines. You know, he had opened up that section with talking about how we keep pushing ourselves away or pushing ourselves down with a new habit, destructive habit, I'm assuming, something that was a bad habit. I think that often is the accumulation of bad habits that cause depression. They cause you to be in a place that you won't be happy with yourself, continuously feed into these bad habits. That's what I think.
I actually feel quite the opposite, because I think actually this little small sector was him saying that, you know, once in a while I do a new habit, and I think he's talking about slowly progressing into a positive state of getting out of the depression. He's like, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes I bury myself in a smile, right? Maybe he could be hiding it, so maybe it could be negative, I don't know, but like, when I hear erase myself from these chalk outlines, I'm thinking maybe you're escaping the chalk outlines.
I don't think he said erase myself from these chalk outlines. He said erase myself in these chalk outlines. That's what he said.
You know what? Okay, maybe I got it wrong. I don't know, but looks like he's about to introduce the feature right now. So let's see what this is all about.
Ourselves in these chalk outlines.
Sertraline and a sip of serotonin. Don't cry, 'cause there's a pill for everything.
Don't cry.
Take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. The feeling goes and you draw a chalk outline.
So it goes, let it be. In the gallows, I'm balanced on my toes so I can breathe. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, erase ourselves.
See, now I do think that it's a positive way. I think he's saying slowly, because he's like, you know, it doesn't happen for long and it's only for a little bit, but sometimes I do smile.
You know,
right?
I will agree after hearing it a second time. I think that's what he might be saying. Clearly the person though, who they're talking about in the song or the situation is, I think it's somebody who's has a drug problem. I think so. They keep referring to, I mean, she literally said, oh, there's a new drug for the way you feel. To satisfy this. And, you know, he already referred to drug usage. I think it's someone coping with depression through some form of taking a drug, taking a pill of some sort. I think that's what's happening here. And then referring back to what you said, maybe they find something, a better habit or something that makes them happy just for a little while.
I think that, okay, maybe specifically if they were talking about a specific person, they could have a drug problem because they take a pill. But I think the grand scheme of things in this song, it's just for, because when I started listening, the more we got into that second hook, I started, and I'm sure it happened to you at home listening to it as well, you started feeling like you were that person, that you were feeling that way. I think it was more of a broad sense of just anybody who's feeling depressed. The first line that she did say was sipping on serotonin, right? Serotonin is a hormone used to feel pleasure, right? Happiness, serotonin, right? And I feel like there's a pill for everything could also be a reference for there's some type of distraction, habit, some type of thing that will take the pain away, right?
Yeah.
And it could be, whether it be through television, whether it be through, you know, an addiction to junk food, or, you know, other things that are more destructive, drugs, alcohol, things of that sort. Now, for me, has been transformed into a more universal perspective of just feeling depressed, but then slowly bringing us back in. Like, you know, sometimes there's that little glimmer of hope. There's that ray of sunshine. Can we just talk about these melodies, man? How do they make you feel? What does it remind you of?
Well, before we go into that, I want to say, yes, I think the way the song is written, anybody who has experienced it, or who's depressed, or who's feeling this type of way can relate to it. But I do believe that they're using the specific example of someone who is taking drugs to deal with their problems. I do believe that. So, the melodies, right? They're great melodies, man. Let me see the melodies. Okay.
I'm getting like a soulful, little slightly gospel vibe. Little slightly gospel, nothing crazy.
I think more folky than gospel.
I think it's a mixture of both, because we used to go to church all the time when we were kids, right? And some of this brings me back to like some of these songs we would sing in church, right? I feel that's what I felt. I felt some of that, you know.
I'm getting like Adele vibes.
Definitely alternative. This feels very alternative.
You know, you're not getting Adele vibes a little bit, just a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Like the tones in their voice and stuff like that, slightly Adele-ish.
Yeah, okay, I hear that. I hear it.
I think so.
And honestly, the more I'm listening to it, I can't lie, I'm starting to get a little emotional, you know? Not Jenny and Screech emotional, but I'm getting emotional because like I said, it's making me think about my own life. And when they start singing that part about what I believe is seeing that little glimmer of hope, I started feeling like my hair started standing up, because I'm like, you know, it started making me feel like I'm thinking about how sometimes I get sad, sometimes I feel depression too, and this is making me feel like, you know, but there's still some hope, and you need to stay strong so that hope can take over and turn into something else.
Yeah, I guess the melodies do portray a sense or feeling of hope as they get higher. In the higher ranges, they start to feel a little more hopeful. So, but it's also like hope mixed with a little bit of pain. The pain of somebody searching or seeking for some sort of hope.
That's what made me emotional too, was the pain aspect as well.
Check out her nails though.
No, funky.
It's such a perfect day. Take it just in case. Take it just in case. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. All things change.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's such a perfect day. It's a beautiful shame. It's a beautiful shame. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. But little by little, bit by bit, I'll push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my,
Erase ourselves in these chalk outlines.
Oh man, I can't lie, I feel really emotional after hearing that last part.
Really?
Yeah, no, because like I said, man, I just started thinking about, you know, just feeling so sad, you know, feeling so sad and things that make you sad. In this case, this reminded me of how I felt when I felt heartbroken. You know, they were saying, it's saying how, you know, sometimes you don't want to be okay because you know that things will change. Sometimes you want to hold on to that pain, right? And it's such a beautiful day out, and it's a beautiful shame. It's a beautiful shame. All these parallels coming together. You know, it's life is good, but it's just a shame because I'm feeling this way. And then that slight pause, everything drops in the music. Usually when there's like a slight pause in music, it gives you like a little bit of a, like brace yourself for the tone shift. And then went right back into that little hope. When I think of when they say, oh, you know, I found a new habit, right? And I started to think when I was feeling really bad about certain things, when I was feeling really bad about having my heart broken, the thing that kept me afloat was making music and dancing, making music. And every time I could pour my pain out onto a page, every time I could write a song about it, I was able to smile. But it didn't last long, but at least I was able to smile until the pain took me over again, and then I had to write another song, until eventually I was okay.
Yeah, I didn't think the whole, you know, being okay reference meant wanting to live in your pain. I didn't think that at all, actually. I actually thought it meant that I'm afraid to be okay, or whatever. He said something about being okay and then all things change. He was afraid to be okay because all things change. It's like sometimes when you're okay and you've accepted, like, okay, I'm okay now, I'm okay, you know, the fear of things changing kicks in, because you're like, when you become okay, you kind of become complacent, you become comfortable. You're like, this is okay for me, this is okay. And then a change happens. You know, it could be a positive change, it could be a negative change. I think the fear of change is what he's talking about in that reference, not because you want to stay. I think that's how you took it, because you were referring back to something that you were going through, and that's how you interpreted it. And I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I just think that I think that that's how you took it, because it brought you back to that emotion that you were feeling. But I do think that he actually meant, in general, when things are okay, we start to fear change, because, like, okay, change could bring a lot of fear about people. I think that's what that really meant in that specific line.
I think it's one of those songs where it's supposed to make you, give you double, triple meanings. So whoever's listening to it, depending on where your life is going and how you see it, you're gonna get that. I don't know if there's a definite meaning to it. You know what I mean? Okay, you know, like I said, and the theme here is fear of change, for what we were talking about, right? His was fear of change. He said because you're complacent at some point, and that fear.
Well, that things are okay, and that you don't want them to not be okay.
That's what I said, right?
No, you said yours was the opposite.
No, mine was you don't want them to not be okay.
No, yours was I'm not okay because I'm in pain, but I don't want to start to feel okay because I'm trying to hold on to that pain. That's what you said.
Well, yeah, because you're fearing the change. You're fearing that change. Like I said, they're both fear of change.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on the fear of change, but where we disagree is, I said that I'm okay, but now I'm afraid things are not going to be okay, and you just said the opposite. I'm not okay, and I'm afraid they're going to be okay because I want to not feel okay.
Yeah, because people live in their pain, right? For me, the chalk outline is you living in your pain. And when that glimmer of hope comes, you find that habit that makes you smile. He said, then we erase ourselves from these chalk outlines.
You know, I was listening to it again, and on the third hook, I think I'm going back with what I thought originally. I think that the habit might be another negative habit, and I think the burying yourself in a smile is just coping with feeling bad and just trying to hide how you feel bad by living and smiling about it when you actually really feel bad. I think it's someone who's hiding their pain.
Double, triple meanings. This is that kind of song.
That's what I think.
It all depends on who's listening to it.
It changed every time I heard it. It changed a little bit.
You know, and there's proof. They're right then and there. It changed every time you heard the hook. There is no right or specific, definite definition of what he's talking about, but the themes are there.
Yeah.
And whoever's listening to it, they're going to take a little bit of a different part of what those themes mean to them. But the point is that it touched us. It touched me, right?
Yeah. And I think it's a great song because it's able to take on many different meanings, definitions for anyone who listens to it. So I think I think it's super universal in that way, and I think that being able to relate to people without, there's two different ways, right? You can be super specific about something and relate to somebody, or you can be a little bit more broad about your feelings and what you're going through and not so specific about the situation, and that can relate to everyone. And I think that's where this song falls in.
Yeah. And it was a beautiful song.
Yes, they sang beautifully. I like how on like a frequency grid, she's like right here at the high end spectrum, and he's like just right below her, the high mid spectrum, and they complement each other well.
She's like highlighting him.
Exactly. Well, she is actually.
It's like a trick.
It could. I wouldn't say she's highlighting him. Actually, I would say maybe at some points she's highlighting him. At some points he's highlighting her. At some points he's the base of the vocal, just like the middle of the vocal, and she's a layer on top who's going like this, then going up and then down, because she obviously has a higher range and can do more with her voice than Ren. I've heard Ren sing in the other songs, and he can do a lot with his voice, but I would assume she's primarily a singer who's been trained in singing for a long time, and she uses a lot of power from her diaphragm. And what I like about this is I think Ren allows her to shine and allows her to take the lead even when they're singing on each other and really go off and display her vocal while he stays at this steady, warm, rich tone that fills that vocal up.
Which as an artist I can appreciate, because when you're used to being the center of your universe, as most artists are, or you're used to being the person who's the main person in your brand, you know, to recognize somebody else's strength and allow them to shine for the sake of creating a good song is very important.
It's very mature.
Something I've struggled with for a long time as an artist as well. You know, I think everything I write is gold. I feel like I'm like Mozart. There's nothing needs to change once it's written, right? And then this guy always be challenging me on stuff, and then we always be butting heads, you know? But at the end of the day, as I get older, I learn, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to make it the best song possible.
Well, you know, we're like Queen in a way. You know, Queen used to butt heads all the time with each other.
Because you know your song isn't strong enough.
You know,
that's why their music was so good.
Exactly. You know, we butt heads and eventually come to a compromise to create this beautiful piece of work. And I think that's what happened here. I'm not saying they butt heads, but I'm saying, as you said, he allowed her to shine where she should shine. He shined where he could shine. He even let her finish the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So visually, I noticed they were both wearing white. Her nails were white. I don't know what's up with that. I'm trying to figure that out. Maybe like, you know, maybe the white is like, on the outside, everything's all good.
Maybe.
But on the inside, there's pain. I don't know. But
that was Ren and Chinchilla and Chalk Outlines live performed. Beautiful video, beautiful vocals.
Very simple.
Simple video, one take in Ren fashion. And that was cool, man. I liked it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I will be replaying it in the nearby future.
Yes.
So if you feel like you received any value from this video or you were just entertained, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Really helps.
And check out our music. You might like it. All right, yo. I'm Trix the Hooligan.
And I'm Julz the Buddha Monk.
And we are
Strawhat Dynasty, your favorite rapping
breaking
twins from NYC. Peace.